chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news. And on today's show, Sonic the Hedgehog discovers new frontiers, the X-Men go to the Edo period, and Mad Max gets furious. But as you know, here at Model Behaviour, action figures always come first.
Or sometimes not at all.
So let's talk about them. We're going to kick things off today with Marvel Legends, because no matter how much I complain about this line, they are always going to be my favourites. And now we have a new addition to the MCU with Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel from the upcoming TV show. We've already seen lots of trailers and sneak peeks. Now we've got the action figure going to be hitting shelves soon, part of the Infinity Ultron wave. So there's still one more figure left to be announced for this wave. Maybe She-Hulk. We'll wait and see. But this looks like a really pretty figure. They are Hasbro just killing it with their face scan FX type technology. It looks so good. I love the sheen and the shimmer on the costume. I'm such a fan of how they've taken the comic book design and just plonked it perfectly onto the screen, and now perfectly on the action figure as well. Miss Marvel, this iteration of Miss Marvel, is one that, the company are really pushing, and she seems to be meeting with a lot of success in the comics and a decent fan following, some lovely representation, but not just representation, but good stories told in that medium. I'm never ever gonna backslap representation just for the sake of it. It's like, yeah, but what are you actually doing? But when you tell good stories and have well-crafted characters, like I feel has been done with this character, then it's like, that's all you need. So fantastic to see that, and a great looking Marvel Legend. So now the question is, when are we going to get the final installment in this wave, and when are they going to be hitting shelves? Hopefully sooner than later. We had the G.I. Joe Instagram live stream yesterday, and there wasn't a huge amount of big news coming out of there. A lot of excitement for Mindbender coming up. He's going to be more of a high-end deluxe figure, which is kind of putting me off. I do love my Joes, but I'm going to sort of pick and choose here and there, and I don't know. Dr. Mindbender, he just looks a little bit silly. A little bit too wacky for my tastes. If he was a regular price, probably would have gone for him, but as a deluxe, I don't know if I can justify that one. But there were two exciting announcements for the future. A big one people have been asking for is Shipwreck. They have confirmed that 2023, you're going to get your Shipwreck figure, which is one that so many people have been clamoring for. I'm happy for you in that regard. And then there's Rock and Roll, who I have no idea about this guy. He looks a little bit too generic army guy for me. It's funny, I don't like super wacky, but I don't like too generic either. You just gotta be kind of in the middle for a cool and badass sort of look. When you hit that sweet spot, that's when you can get your hands into my wallet. But I am excited to see what they do with these characters, because they started off doing sort of more modern interpretations. Now they're going more retro with the designs. Maybe these will fit somewhere nicely in the middle, and if that's the case, I'll be interested. Typical that when I took my little channel hiatus, it was also Star Wars Celebration. So there was so much Star Wars stuff being revealed. And if I were to try and go back and catch up with all of that, you'd be watching good news from like a week ago. And that's not the point of the news. The point of the news is to tell you what's happening now. So I'll just quickly touch on some of the ones that I thought were kind of cool from those reveals, and they were mainly the Black Series Inquisitors. I thought these guys looked really awesome. I'm digging Obi-Wan so far. I'm going to see if they can stick the landing, but at the moment they've got my attention. So let's see how this progresses. The Inquisitors I think look awesome. Grand Inquisitor looks wicked. The brother, the sisters. I know that there's a whole lineage and backstory history of the Inquisitors from different games and cartoons and media. I'm coming into this for the first time. I think these are great additions to the live-action Star Wars canon, and I gotta say, these Black Series figures actually look really well put together. So kudos to Hasbro for doing some nice Black Series figures of new characters that we haven't seen before in this form. So these look really cool. And then we have some more new releases for the Obi-Wan show, with Obi-Wan in his Tibidon gear. I haven't seen the third episode, or was Tibidon where they were on the second one? I lose track. Alright, already I'm falling behind with Obi-Wan. But this likeness of Ewan McGregor. I think, again, going back to the face scans, they're doing really, really well. I think this is a pretty well-crafted action figure. Nice to see Obi-Wan in something other than his Jedi wandering kind of robes. I mean, it's not a huge transition. You would imagine you can still buy what he's wearing at the same store. Very kind of Gap, Abercrombie and Fitch, but with a Tatooine sort of slant to it. But he looks cool. So I think this Obi-Wan is going to make a decent addition to your collection. If you're one of those I gotta have every iteration collection type people. If not, then it feels like a little bit surplus to requirements. But that's Star Wars. There's always going to be a new version of every single character. If they wear a different hat, boom, action figure. If they have a slight 5 o'clock shadow, boom, action figure. And hey, look, we love them. Folks buy them, so more power to them. Speaking of buying new versions of the same character, we're also getting Darth Vader, just in case you missed out on any of the previous 10,000 Darth Vaders. Hey, look, it's the same with Wolverine, Batman, Deadpool. You've got to have the franchise characters up front. And let's face it, Darth Vader, he's kind of a big deal at the moment. So this is very much, I don't know if it's like an uncanny valley sort of thing, but I feel like I recognize Hayden Christensen Darth Vader. Even if they make him at the same proportions as like the David Prowse ones. I don't know, maybe it's like a mental thing. Like my brain knows it's the Hayden Christensen version, and because of that, he looks smaller and less intimidating to me. And I don't know what it is. Do you guys find that? Like, if you was shown a random Darth Vader, but beforehand someone went, this is the Hayden Christensen Darth Vader, you'd see it and be like, yeah, it looks a little puny. But if they went, this is classic David Prowse Darth Vader, oh yeah, he looks like a badass. I don't know what it is, but there you go. That's just my weird brain. So I think it looks cool. The sculpting looks cool. The design looks awesome. But my brain is like, it doesn't look very threatening to me. I can't put my finger on it. Very, very odd, but maybe I'm just a weirdo. Either way, you can pick these two guys up soon. One thing that really caught my eye from the Star Wars Celebration reveals were the anime-type figures from the Star Wars Visions show, which I haven't watched all the episodes of yet. I need to go back and catch up on those. You know, we're so used to seeing the movie direct recreations in the Vintage line and the Black series. It's cool to see different interpretations of characters, different styles and formats. So these anime ones, we've only got some little, camera in the glass case type pictures, so it's hard to make them out very clearly. But from what we can glimpse, these look pretty cool. Speaking of looking cool, Edo period Boba Fett. This looks amazing. I just want to kind of show you these pictures because I don't have any more information, but obviously it was another reveal for Star Wars Celebration. So I'm guessing, is it Tamashi that did the original Star Wars Samurai type mashups? Because those just it looks so beautiful. There's a reason why I haven't bought any of them yet, because if I buy one, it's going to bankrupt me because I'm just going to want to get all of them. So I'm just trying to resist. But this whole diorama setup, I mean, just look at it. You're looking at it, you should be, because it just looks so incredibly beautiful. I love the Edo type aesthetic, that samurai kind of look with the different set drop, backdrop, set piece dioramas. It absolutely incredible. It's only a shame to me that when I look at it, it's TV Boba Fett. It's the book of Boba Fett. I'm like, that's bad Boba Fett. That's not good Boba Fett. That's bad Boba Fett. So I think I'll be able to kind of resist it because I know in my mind, like now, when you look at it, it's just going to make you think of Book of Boba Fett, and that was a bad time. But at least from an aesthetic point of view, with the creativity and the artistry involved, it's gorgeous. Now let's go over to Neca, who have their Monster Madness May reveals. You know what I'm trying to say. It's the catchy name that they do. Splinter, Van Helsing Splinter, for their Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters mashup line. I've got Raphael as Frankenstein. I love him. And at Comic-Con, I bought Leonardo as Igor, which was another one that just kind of won me back over to the line. I'm like, yeah, I'm at least going to have to get all the turtles. Will I have to get Splinter as well? I don't know. There's a thing about putting more clothes on Splinter that makes him look extra naked without any trousers. He's kind of Donald Ducking it in this costume. He's got the Van Helsing hat and the jacket and a load of awesome looking accoutrements and extras as well. But without pants, I'm like, what are you doing, Splinter? You forgot something before you left the house. But I'm looking forward to seeing more pictures from this guy and hopefully another beautiful stop-motion animation commercial pretty soon. Because Neca, mwah, you guys kill it with those. So yeah, Splinter Van Helsing. look forward to seeing more. Going back to Hasbro now with Transformers and another Shattered Glass character, this time Blaster and Rewind. I love the Shattered Glass concept. You know this about me. I love evil doppelgangers and alternate universe versions, and this is great. It's the evil Autobot Blaster, which is also Hasbro. Hasbro must love these because a lot of them are just pretty straightforward repaints, sometimes a little bit of extra sculpting, but on the whole, it's a good way to kind of use new figures in a new light. And I'm actually down for that just because I love the Shattered Glass concept. So Blaster looks wicked. I pronounce it Blastar or Blaster. Run, Blaster! Save yourself! Yeah, Blaster. All you gotta do is just, go back over in the old brain noggin. When did I last hear that name? No way! Two can play! I just loved it. Shall we just stop good news and I'll just run through the entire Transformers movie? We could do that. No, I won't do that to you. This guy looks really cool. Gonna be hitting shelves soon. Now this is some creativity I really like to see. Again with their movie Monster May, whatever, Neca have shown images of their The Thing figure. Based on the poster. I wasn't too sure how to describe what this is. Yes, it is The Thing, but it's taken kind of, not necessarily from the VHS art. I always remember the VHS box looking different, at least in England, when I was looking at it in the video store in the 80s as a little kid and going like, whoa, I don't want to watch that. But the poster, the classic poster, with the guy in the jacket, with the rays of light or whatever it is shining out of his face, it's pretty iconic. And this looks like Neca have just captured it. Beautifully, so beautifully, I smacked my microphone. So I'm interested in how this will look in 3 dimensions. Is there like a light? I mean, that would be cool. I don't think Neca don't really do lights and stuff, not like a Mezco little light up feature or anything, but that would work really well. So maybe it is just clear plastic shards or whatever. It's really hard to tell from the pictures, but I love the creative approach to this figure, so I'm looking forward to seeing more. Flame Toys have made a G.I. Joe Ore Striker vehicle. Now this just looks really cool. We don't have a huge amount of vehicles from Hasbro. We've got a couple of motorbikes, which is cool, but a lot of people have been saying, how about a few 1/12 scale vehicles? Come on, guys! Of course that would be very expensive. Maybe a HasLab at some point, who knows? I mean, they've done the small vintage ones with the jet and whatnot, but a classifieds HasLab vehicle? That could be quite something. But in the meantime, we've got this version, and it's for $99. So it ain't cheap, but at the same time, this is more of the kind of high-end collector, sort of, I want to bulk out and make an amazing display type collector. This one's for you. So you can go over to Flame Toys and pick this guy up pretty soon, or hopefully, fingers crossed, Hasbro will see that and go, we could get in on that. Dipping their toes back into Skyrim, McFarlane are re-releasing their Alduin dragon figure, but this time in full gold. I have no idea if I pronounced the dragon's name right. I've never played Skyrim. What am I, a nerd? Get out of here. Nah, I'm only kidding. I cannot wait to dive back into Elden Ring. Finally! Gonna blow the dust off that one. But in the meantime, you got this bright gold dragon if you want it. I feel like I don't get the gold ones. It just, to my eyes, it just looks like a blob of plastic. And I feel like you lose this beautiful sculpting that's there because it is beautiful. This, the actual work in this dragon looks incredible. But I don't know, maybe Todd just looks at his figures and goes, I don't know. I love gold. Gold everything. But hey, look, it's an excuse to re-release them, and they wouldn't do it if people didn't buy them. So, yeah. Dude's gonna make money. Can't fault him for that. So if you want to pick this up, the nicest thing about it is that it's only listed as $20 in my notes. It's a lot of plastic for $20. Amazing how much plastic you can get for $20. Hasbro. Yeah. McFarlane kind of showing you like, oh yeah, no, we're going to throw a load of plastic in here. How much? $20. Gotta love them. So yeah, if you want a big gold dragon, you can pick this guy up. But if you want a higher price tag for your plastic, then Neca will oblige. $48 for their Boar Predator. I showed pictures, or a picture, of this guy last time. Now we got the full reveals and all the different pictures and angles and lights, all that great stuff. Take a look for yourself. He looks good. Sometimes I feel like the paintwork on the Predators looks a little bit too garish, maybe a bit too bright or luminescent, maybe cartoony. Sometimes that's what they're going for with the video game style ones. But these more movie, real world, realistic ones where they kind of tone it down, make it look a little gritty and a bit more sort of blended and real world, they look really cool. This guy looks really cool. I like that they've given him a sort of a boar-shaped face mask. Like you can see kind of a bovine's horse. Whatever pig is, you can see that kind of look to the mask. So that's kind of wicked. And then the maskless predator face. I don't know how they've tweaked it, but it looks like a more unique kind of design. The mandibles look wicked. All the details, it looks really cool. This guy paired up with the upcoming Shaman Predator. I think they're sort of entering a new phase of Predator figures where they're kind of pushing the creative boat out a little bit more, and it's working. I think these look really cool. Mattel have announced their WWE Elite Greatest Hits line of figures. Now, this is one that's going to be mainly repaints, but with new face technology as well. So there's going to be some reuse, but some new stuff. And I got to admit, this kind of catches my eye because I'm just looking for my definitive Bret Hart. And I ain't seen him yet because they keep absolutely murdering the poor dude's face. So maybe this will be a chance. I mean, if it's greatest hits, then they got to have the big heavy hitters. So keep an eye on these. In the meantime, the first batch has a pretty good lineup. This is going to include The Rock, Rey Mysterio, my old trainer Jake the Snake Roberts, then we've got Rikishi, The Undertaker, and one of my all-time boys, Bam Bam Bigelow. So if they do a badass looking Bam Bam, I would actually be up for getting that. Especially I can put him with, what's the name of the guy? I've got another NXT Flame guy, Bronson Reed. That's it. Bronson Reed and Bam Bam together, they would look awesome on the shelf. So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. Shout Factory are giving us a charred Chucky figure. Just in case you have a problem with sleeping, as in you sleep too easily. You know, you just go to bed and you're asleep before your head hits the pillow. Why not just put this guy on your shelf and have him staring at you? I don't know why you would want this in your room, but if you do, more power to you. And that's not knocking the figure, that's saying, wow, they did a really good job of recreating this horrific looking creature. So yes, charred, scorched Chucky. Now apparently, as of this recording, he's already sold out. But you can get him if you buy the 4K Child's Play box set, which is going to retail for over $100. But I don't know, if you're a big cinephile and you want some Ultra HD terrifying Child's Play not only on your TV but on your shelf, then this one's for you. Keeping it scary, it's a bit of a horror themed episode today. Neca again have gone to their Monster Mayhem reveals and shown the Creep from the Creepshow. We had a couple of little preview teaser images. Now they're showing him in all his gross, grim, disgusting glory. Me personally, I was always more of a Tales from the Crypt Keeper kind of guy. He seemed like the more cuddly kind of puppet Muppet type zombie, whereas this thing looks genuinely horrific. So again, I wouldn't want him on my shelf. Why? Because I'm a big wuss. But if you grew up in the 80s loving the Creepshow and you got a certain fondness for this terrifying looking creation, then you can pick him up soon. Let's go old school now with the Select Watcher. Finally, the re-release is beginning to hit shelves. I had a few folks send me some pictures of theirs. So over in the States, you can find him. He's out there for just $30. This is a guy who was retailing for about $200 on eBay and the secondhand market. Could not find the Watcher for less than that for love nor money. And then finally Select were like, hey, we're just gonna do them again for you. How about that? Granted, it took over a year, I think. I put my pre-order down a long time ago. I'm still waiting for the UK stock to come in, but it's nice to know that he is coming. Because I don't have to be a Marvel completist anymore. But with Galactus coming out, come on! You gotta have the Watcher, so this is definitely good news. If you didn't know about this, go out and see if you can find him, because the Watcher, he is a Marvel essential. Going over to video game news now, and there has been a reveal of the new Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers. And I gotta say, this one has really caught my interest, because I love the franchise of Sonic. I love the property. Again, grew up in the 90s, of course. I was a Mega Drive kid. We lived in a Sega household, so I love Sonic. But I haven't really played the recent Sonic games because I feel like it's kind of been a running joke that they ain't that good. There's been more misses than hits. But this looks really different. They're going for a very Zelda Breath of the Wild kind of aesthetic, but then with some Sonic speed boost type mechanics in there. Color me intrigued, is what I'm saying. I mean, look, it looks super pretty. If it plays like ass, then it's not going to be any good. But I do have some high hopes. I feel like Sonic is kind of getting, I was going to say, is on a roll, no pun intended. But he's getting more momentum. Even ugly Sonic is kind of coming back in a bizarre sort of way. So yeah, I'm going to watch this with very close interest because I think this might be a fun game come around, I'm guessing maybe Christmas time? We'll see. And over in TV news, I spoke about Ms. Marvel at the start of this show, but I just wanted to show off some cool looking character posters that they've released, because it gives a real kind of flavor, I feel, for the show. Again, this is one that I'm really looking forward to. I think a lot of people have been sort of pre-bashing it without having actually seen the show, because that's what gets clicks. Very, very popular to hate on stuff. I don't want to hate on this. I think this looks different, a little bit unique, maybe a bit lighthearted. I'm all down for a little bit of lightheartedness. And it looks like it's geared more like to kids and younger people, and hello fellow young people. I'm ready to enjoy this too. So yeah, color me excited for Ms. Marvel. I think it's going to be a good time. Over in pro wrestling news, don't worry, it will be getting its own channel soon, I promise. But I just wanted to say how excited I am to see that the main event of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, in which New Japan Pro Wrestling will be clashing with All Elite Wrestling, the main event is going to be AEW champion CM Punk taking on the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is a massive, massive match, because a big worry for a lot of people was, is this show just going to be like random tag matches with a bunch of superstars teaming up with jobbers, and it's like, oh, I wonder who's going to get pinned? No, we're actually having big time A-list matches. This is awesome. Okada would have been another fantastic opponent for CM Punk. That would have been champion versus champion. But I hope that this means Okada is being saved for, geez, I don't know, Bryan Danielson. Oh, if they did that, that would literally be giving the biggest card they could possibly do first time out. And hey, look, Tony Khan, he's not someone to do things by halves. So fingers crossed we get more awesome announcements about this. But at the moment, I'm so excited. And also, while we're on the subject, I just wanted to say how happy I am to see one of my favorite performers, Ember Moon, make her debut in AEW. She had a decent run in WWE, but never really seemed to be booked to her best potential. I think a lot of people could say that. But she chose to leave, or was she released? Either way, she left, and didn't have the most complimentary things to say about her former employer, just with some of the attitudes in the company. So it's great to see her in a new environment, new place, new opportunities. I'm excited to see this. In movie news, one of my favorite movies from about 7 years ago is finally getting its sequel, Mad Max Fury Road. We have just begun filming Furiosa. Chris Hemsworth, who I didn't know was going to be in the movie, just posted a picture of the day one slate showing that they have begun filming. So I'm guessing that means if filming has just begun, we're at least a year and a half or so out from seeing it. But I'm down for more Mad Max. I love the franchise, love the world that they've created, and the last movie was just, oh, it was incredible, especially for a guy who's so stunt-minded, seeing real-life stunt people doing real-life stunts, some of whom I've worked with as well, which is super cool. I'm like, dude, you were the guy pole vaulting across the tanker truck. Well, nicely done. So yeah, that's going to be really awesome. So I'm going to keep a little eye on this and see kind of how this project develops, because yeah, more Mad Max? Yes, please. And finally, just to round things off with some pretty pictures, I saw on one of the Facebook groups someone posted a whole bunch of artwork from a very talented artist on Instagram. I've put their name below. I'm just having a little brain fart at the moment, so I can't remember the name of the creator, but go check them out, because I love weird and wonderful reinterpretations of characters. And this guy has done pretty much every X-Man ever in a stunning Edo. Again, talking about the Edo period. Just love the aesthetic. It gives you so many creative opportunities to take established looks and then tweak them in certain ways. So I'm just talking while you look at some really awesome artwork, but I like giving shout outs to talented people. So go check out this artist down below. I hope I remember to put the name there, otherwise it looks like I'm just gesturing to my crotch, and that ain't an artist. So guys, go check out this person's hard work and tell me in social media or in the comments what other artists you think deserve a great shout out. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think about the stories covered? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what to do. You know what to do. What are you going to do? You're going to join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond in supporting the channel, well, you can do. all you got to do is go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior, toss a couple of bucks my way, and you can enjoy all the exclusive videos on there. Or you can stay right here on YouTube, pick yourself up a little channel membership, and then you can still enjoy those videos, but then you get all the special icons in the chats and the live streams and all that kind of thing as well. That's really, really appreciated. Or you can just sit here and watch the videos, because good lord, each and every one of those clicks really helps out the channel. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.